Welcome. My name is Mark Anthony Dubose Jr. and I was born July 4th, 1986. I want to say thank you for tuning in to try to figure out some more about these dogs. So what I want to talk about today comes down to my personal experience with working with some of these dogs, millions of dogs, and being able to experience like my own set of dogs that I have, my own animals that I care for. Because at the end of the day, what I am able to really 100% verify what's going on is through my animals. Because at the end of the day, I don't know what people are doing behind closed doors, but I do know what's going on behind closed doors with what I got going on in my house. And I'm wanting to be able to expose all of what it is that I do with these dogs so that everyone can have a good understanding of what it is that I'm able to see the main thing I want to talk about is being able to stay consistent and getting stuff done and doing it and just make it happen and following through and doing it even though you're hurt, you're tired, you're sick, you still get something done each day. It doesn't need to be 8 hours, but just getting something done every day. I see just an amazing things that happen. And today I want to talk a lot about this concept of these dogs that are chasing. Because in my understanding, from what I've seen, even with my own dogs, but I've seen this in other people's dogs, I've read about this with other people's dogs, I've done so much research to understand about what's going on with a lot of these dogs. And in most cases, when these dogs, because I've had this one, my Pyrenees actually even killed a chicken. My Dalmatian has killed. She's the only one that hasn't actually killed one because I know how to get them not to do it anymore before they do it, but seeing if they do want to do it. My German Shepherd has done it. All of my dogs have done this. And there's something that I've come to realize about this stuff that goes on with these dogs in this chase. That the more I don't let them do it, the more they want to do it. The more I let them do it, the less they want to do it. That might sound weird, but it's just what I've seen with working with the dogs that I have for my own, other people's dogs, and seeing what other trainers, and not even trainers, but just people that work with their dogs do with their dogs. The more and more that we are allowing these dogs to be able to do a chase, such as, the main thing I'm going to say here is you're setting it up so that the dog is good and you are going to be able to have success with what you're doing. It's not just a free-for-all. You can't just put them out in the woods day one and just let them go, let them take off and just do whatever they want to do. That's what you're going to run into sticky situations. I'm still not 100% on that, but just my experience, I was running into sticky situations with doing such a thing. So I set it up so the dogs are able to be able to do. And for my dog here, my Shepherd here, Johnny here, I let him start the chase and chase and chase. And him today, he's a very interesting animal because he got it out and then he's just like, I'm done. So when there's no one else that's engaged in chase, he has like zero drive to care. He doesn't care. He's like I'll get in it if something else gets in it. He doesn't start it. Whereas day one, he just had this is something I said a video or two ago, of sometimes the dogs just do it one time and they're just like, okay, I'm good, I'm fine, I'm all right. And he has no desire. And even if he does get like super stimulated when he sees something new or foreign, such as a deer, I could just look at him and I've got all kinds of words I can say to him. Hey, Johnny, hey, no, hey, stop that, hey, go home, hey, all done, hey, finished. I can say whatever language depending on the scenario, and then he just like, okay, well, we're good. Because he's been able to, and he also knows that he will be able to have a chance to do it again. Because that's not like the only time. When I see that these dogs are going to kill, like just straight up, just savage, it's because we are restricting them, and never allowing it to happen. You don't let them happen, frustration starts to build because they're not being able to get to what they want to get to. And that frustration builds and it starts to get mad, it starts to get angry, and then it just has this extreme fireball of energy that just explodes, just goes off and goes wild. But when we allow the dogs to be able to do it, that energy just turns into just what the dogs actually are, that I see what most of them do when they are able to chase anything. They're not out to harm. They just love the pursuit. It's the pursuit that just gets them to they just like, aha, like, thank goodness, like that's awesome, that's amazing. Because when they actually catch up to what they're catching up to, if they're able to corner it, being to contain it somehow, they just sniff the heck out of it. And I've seen my transformation with dogs that I have, because this is one thing that I'm gonna say, like my German Shepherd, I'm training him, and today he knows how to go and kill. This is how he can effectively catch things that I'm telling him to pursue. So if I put a bunny and I see a bunny and we know that we're about to do that, he will get it because he knows how to follow through. He knows to just, at that moment, to lunge in, grab it with its teeth. He knows to grab it. He's like, I'm not gonna sniff it, I'm gonna get it. He knows with the chickens, because I train him. You good? Because I train him with the chickens. He knows how to, he captures, he gets it, and that's how he eats. All his meals every day, he's killing to eat. That's how he eats his food. That's the way that I'm training that specific dog to. You know what's fascinating? When we're just out and about, he has zero, let's put it at 0.001% drive to chase anything. When it's not, we're set up, I'm having him do this for me. He sees deer on the trail, his ears may like flicker like, what is that? But he has like no like, I'm gonna go get it. He sees bunnies, rabbits, birds, squirrels, anything, anywhere we go, even here on the property, he has zero care to go and pursue it. Because every single day, he gets to pursue it in a way that we are setting it up. So the more that I was restricting him from wanting to chase, that dude was on, I forget the first days of letting him free out here. I mean, the dude went through, I think it was over a half dozen chickens. Like he just killed, he just was like on overboard because he didn't know what to do with himself. But now that it's set up that I'm saying you can do it, because all the dog train stuff and all in the school with him, he was not allowed to chase nothing. We stripped that. That's like day one of dog training school. You strip the chase out of your dog because there were squirrels around, there was lizards, and that's part of our testing. And part of the testing is an off leash around all of these things, and the dogs have to maintain and have to stay with you. They cannot pursue it. Day one, we're slamming on these dogs. You are never allowed to chase again in your life. So with all of that inside of them, because that's how Johnny was also trained, zero chase behind you at all. And when he just never able to do it, they just have this like absolute explosion that goes off. This explosion that just turns into like this extreme rage. And they just like finally got that chance. And then you know when that happens, when that goes down? For me, I looked at that and I assessed it and realized like, you know, it's unfortunate, Johnny. It's unfortunate that happened, but I'm not like the person that, because I've seen something crazy, that we're like, I'm not gonna do that no more. When my dogs just blow me off when I let them off leash the first time on a random trail, it took them 5, 10, 15 minutes to get back to me, even though I'm calling them, hey, come here. And they're playing this trickaroo with me trying to put the leash back on them. I don't quit. I just keep going. I keep going. That's why for me, I know I can see the differences of when I know what that is, the stuff you're actually working on it, as opposed to just quitting up and giving in and saying, oh, this isn't for me, this isn't gonna work. Because I've seen it that the more I restrict the dogs from being able to do what they're doing, the more and more that the dog just has this like this excessiveness behind them, that they just have this like extreme behind them, as opposed to just chilling and hanging out and relaxing. Because now that's one thing that I could say exactly with my Dalmatian, because it's fascinating because I got videos of her along the way of seeing how she is. And I'm not even, I got to make a new video of showing you how she works around these squirrels today, because I let her chase them. With her, my safety net of that is she's hooked on a leash with me. She's hooked on a leash, we see squirrel, and I say, let's get it. And for her, she doesn't really chase it up the trees too often. Today she did once, but she just gets up where she's parallel with it, or I should say next to it, adjacent with it, and then she just keeps going to the next, and I let her just go 100. She's just sprinting, she's pulling into the harness. Granted, I just don't have a safe place for her to do that, so I have to keep her on leash with doing that. I wouldn't just let her free in a park with hundreds of people around and kids and other dogs all around. That's just, I have to set it up so it's safe for everyone, not only just me. But me, if it was my world, yeah, I let her just run and do what she wants to do. But it's not my world. This isn't mine to do whatever I want to do with it. So I let her do that. And now when I switch from, we're off harness now, we're just walking, I put her on flat collar, she could see a squirrel 2 feet from her. She just looks at it like, oh, because she's got that energy out. She's able to just get it all out. So there's a time that we're on that we can go, and there's a time that we're off, we're just hanging out. Because it's the same with the deer, it's the same with everything with that specific dog, because she is wild. She was like extreme over chasing everything. And now I've channeled that extreme for her to be able to do that in what I'll say is a safe manner, a way that we're doing it together. We're a partnership here. We're doing it, and let her do it in reality as much as she wants. And that's how she ends up getting herself way too tired today, because she kicks in the overdrive drive, and she's just going wild, and then she just gets it all out, and then she's like, oh, okay, that's good. Now today, like, man, we just went on our first 12-mile full long run. She's building stamina. She's able to go more and more, especially when she's not in that full psychotic drive. She can do so much more. And the only way that I really see, and this is just, I've seen from a lot of other people as well, is giving the dogs a chance to be able to do that. And once they're able to do that, they just like, it's no longer so exciting. It's like the less the less that they have like this extreme desire for it. The less like even they just, you have to like start to coach them. Like now when she sees squirrel, I gotta like, come on, get it. Like I gotta push her more to like really make her dig deep the way that she did the first day that she saw it. That basically I was just like, go ahead and chase it. Let's just see what happens. I have to like coach her to build that same excitement back. Every single time that she does it, the less and less and less exciting that it is to her. So the more and more she just looks at it like, okay, well, that one's okay. Because she used to go for everything, the lizards, the snakes, the squirrels, the bunnies, the deer, the dogs, the people, the kids, the strollers, the bikes. She used to chase everything. And she would see, we would get the bike rolling past me and she's like, let's go. She would just go for everything. And since I've been allowing her to be able to pursue that chase, she's just, boop, we're good, everything's good. And it's what's fascinating is I'm able to allow my shepherd that he actually chases, pursues, kills, and he doesn't care to do that only when we're doing this now. And it's even more amazing because he's eating the food that I'm giving him that's living on this property. So there's like 1,000 or more of these chicks all right there. There's like hundreds of them all walking around all free out here. But when we're walking free, he doesn't go for a single one. He doesn't even side eye. He doesn't even look at it like I think. He doesn't even care. He has zero pursuit behind him. Let's put .001. And the only time that he when we get the game going and it's set up, Johnny, when I get the game going, it's set up for him to be able to know he's about this dinner or this is what we're doing right now. I don't even want to show that on camera, but he is intense, man. I'll be able to show it with the Dalmatian with the running because it's not so YouTube friendly anymore to actually show the hunting stuff. All the hunting things are kind of just disappearing, and I get it, but I don't get it. But it's intense. It's like it is when y'all see the videos of the dudes doing the bite sleeves and the dogs just going on, I mean, it is intense. And there's something that is like exciting behind that. And when I get excited, what do you think the dog also does even more? It gets even more excited. It's just like it just goes crazy. And then what happens? The dog turns around, it stops, it gets out of drive, it looks at you and it says, wow, thanks, man. I appreciate that. I really appreciate that. And I've seen this because I used to go the route of you are not allowed to chase nothing. And it led me nowhere. It led me absolutely nowhere in reality. It led me to the point that I was on edge with everything all the time. Always on edge. Just always just like, what's going to happen? What's going to happen? What's going down? What's going down? Oreo, go home. What's going to happen? What's going to happen? What's going down? What's going down? And just never being able to just chill. And that's what I've realized today is I'm able to just chill. Because especially like just Johnny, man, he's so different when Oriole's not here. Oriole's just locked up. He's on sick call right now. He hurting, so I don't want him to do any extra running. And when he's not out here, I mean, he's staring at me because he's always making sure that everything is good. But when he's not out here, this boy has like, he looks like how my shepherd looks. Zero behind him. He has no care about chasing anything. He's just hanging out. He can walk around. And still at the same time, even if they all do gang up, I've seen it because I work three of them, this guy, the Dalmatian, and the Border Collie, I work all of them together. And when I'm doing certain things that I'm doing, if I got to get all the chickens out of the coop, like that was that yesterday or the day before yesterday? That's what we were doing. We were all in the coop flushing the chickens out, all three of them. Did a single chicken get hurt? No. Did they kill a single one? No. When I got to push them all and get them back into the coop, did a single chicken ever get hurt? No. Do they kill a single one? No. They have zero desire to do that because it's not inside of them of what it is that they're supposed to be doing. What it is they're supposed to be doing is moving and getting the animals around. They love the chase, man. They love the chase. And it's another layer to add on to that. On why for me, on my property, if I see bunny, which unfortunately, I don't see bunnies at all anymore because of what I've been doing. This is how you get them out. Bunnies are no good for gardens. So that's the main thing I'm going to say right there is why you would want to get them out as opposed to having more in. Because when I wasn't allowing dogs to chase, my bunny population out here was just like building, which for I didn't see a need in that, so I didn't understand it. And the first time I seen my dogs go into pursuit of chase, I said, go get it. Because they also have a very good understanding of my fences. They don't jump fences, but yet I've taught them how to jump fences. Oh, this boy, my Dalmatian will get there soon enough, but Oreo, I can say jump, 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 and they can jump fences. they know that they could jump the fence. They know that they could jump to get over to the street. They know they could jump to get to my neighbor's yard. They could jump it. We've got experience. I've done a lot with just teaching them how to jump because it's faster and more effective for me. If I'm chasing, especially when I was doing goat runs, man, I'm chasing goats. I want to go. We're going. So we got to jump. Let's jump. Let's go. And the goats are, they would do the trickery jumping back and forth as well. So we got to be on the move. So I taught them how to jump fences. But yet when they run full sprint to a bunny and it reaches that fence, does that dog jump that fence? No, it doesn't jump that fence. It stays down. It hangs out. It just stops and it's like, okay, I see it in them. They literally like do the jump and they just like, do the chase and they're just like, okay, that was good. That's awesome. And then we're done. We're finished and everything is over with. But the main thing is what's always going down is the dogs that never, ever, ever get to be able to do any of that. You start to run into that. The dog just is building and building and building and building and building. And then that second that you're not on all paying attention, concentration, when you're not 100% in paying attention to what's going on, that's when the stickiness happens. That's when a dog takes off. There's so many videos on the, it's not so much on YouTube, but I see them on Instagram like crazy, where the dog is just, the human is pulling. These dogs, when they go and they don't care about like holding back, they will drag, a 45-pound dog will drag a 200-pound person. There's many of short clips and videos of dogs just full pursuit after a duck or something, and it just drags the person. They will go, and that's when that happens. And then you get dragged, and then you let go, and then the dog is just getting all of it out, and what do you think happens? It kills the sheep. It kills the dog, a dog, a person, whatever it is that it's doing, because it's just going, and then it's done and over with, and it looks at it like, huh, like it didn't even really, because this is what's complicated when you see dogs do like stuff like that when they kill something, because they show like oh, whatever, because that's not what their intention was, like the chase. They got the chase out there like, yeah, we're good, but then it looks at the dead thing like, man, what am I supposed to do with that now? Like, it's just, that wasn't part of what they were doing. And there are some dogs that we train and get to know how to be able to kill. And that's why for me, my shepherd, I'm always, this is a part that we all should look at what we need, what we want to do with these dogs and what your needs are, so that you can be able to get to a position that you have what you have and I have what I have. So I have a dog that I know that I'm training to hunt because I have a just desire in me of just in case. This is why I'm switching to rabbits over the chickens for the dog food. The chicken for me, I know how to raise a small little flock for my own food. That's simple, that's easy. But I'm raising, my number one thing was I want to be, what if there's no stores open, there's no food available, there's no nothing, I want to be able to still have my dogs. I'm not going to give up on my dogs because I can't buy them dog food from the store. So I was like, okay, let's do the chicken. But then I realized I need so much input to be able to get these chickens to stay alive. Whereas rabbits, I can grab anything from out here and feed these guys. And they give the babies and they do it all on their own. I don't have any input. And so I can make that happen without like the need of anything extra. So for me, I have different desires that I look at as a practice and a just in case. So I have a dog that knows how to hunt. That if he hungry, I say, Kahi, let's go to the woods and let's go. You go grab you some food, buddy. And he gonna go look for, up front, a small bird. But I can show him what I want him to look for. And I can get him to look at it and zone in on it and then say, go get it. And then I can say, let's go get more of that. And he will just keep going. He'll find him. This dude, this is where I can see a difference in like how the Dalmatian's nose is. Something will be right there. She's all sniffing all around like, where is it? Where is it? But something's right there. My shepherd is just on it. He's in it. Like he knows where things are. So I'm using him for, if there's no stores, there's no food, I'm telling you, my dog's eating and I'm eating. And in worst case scenario, he's gonna be finding deer so that I'm also eating so that he could scout it out for me so that I can go take care of it. And I'm eating, we eating, my dogs are gonna be eating. That's like stuff that I have a need for. Do you need that? I don't know. But there's just some things that are really interesting about me finding my needs. They also meet the needs of what a lot of other people are looking for from your dogs. When you're saying to me, my dog is, I can't trust my dog and my dog is always want to chase stuff and how do I get my dog to stop doing that? I said to myself, I've been letting my dogs chase, letting my dogs go, letting my dogs do what they do, and yet they stop doing that. I let my dogs pull on the leash. I let my dogs sniff on stuff. I let my dogs do stuff and they stop pulling on the leash. I let my dogs, what's the other stuff that I do? Jump fences, and they don't jump fences. They do it when I ask them to. They pull when I tell them to. They stop and they sniff when I tell them to. They go potty in places that I tell them to. because I allow them to be able to get it all out. I get it all out. Do what you got to do. And once they get it out, they're like, okay, now we can do this together, because it's no longer like this extreme, just crazy madness. Everything with all of my dogs, we do together. My Border Collie, we move animals together. He doesn't do it on his own. He may there's certain things that he's on auto default to know how to do, because he knows how, this is where certain dogs are more challenging to work with, is because they know what you want and they'll do it for you before you even said that that's what you wanted. So for me, the one thing that he will do is, if the baby chicks, not the grown chicks, because he knows these ones are free, these are free, he doesn't mess with them. But the baby chicks, if the baby chicks are outside of the fence, he will put them back in there. I don't need to tell him. All I got to do is say, hey, Oreo, go put them up. I don't even need to do that. All I got to do is walk in this direction, and his first go-to is, let me make sure all the baby chicks are safe, and puts them back inside. And if they don't go back inside, then he'll pick it up. That's when some of the video, I don't know if you ever hear him, the little things chirping or not, because it's kind of far from here. But he'll put them back inside. He puts them in there, and he's like, okay, we're done, we're finished. And then he comes back over here and he lays down. So pretty much every time that I set a video up out here, outside of this one, because he is locked in there, he's not so much as locked in there, because all the dogs are in there again now. Wherever Oreo's the leader out here. Where he is, the dogs want to be. He's a very interesting animal that just brings as weird as it is, he's so excited, he brings calmness to dogs. He brings the chill. He brings the safety to the dogs. They all go to him, and he just calms everybody down. He relaxes them. That's where that big, her name is Jovi. She's like one of those extreme big XL bully guys that you should see. The other one that I'm gonna have to get a video of, this other one, she's small. That dog huge. The other one, she's small compared to the other one. This other one's like 200 something pounds. And but she went over there. They all want to go to him, and it's very interesting. But every video when he's out pushing the baby chicks in. He's done with that. Then he comes back, you see him in frame. He's doing his work. He's getting stuff done. I don't even need to tell him. I don't need to show him. I don't need to guide him. I don't need to explain nothing to him. He knows how to do the whole thing, and he gets it done, and we're good to go. And if I never allowed him to do that, my goodness, this dog would probably be this. I've seen Border Collies, but this Border Collie is extreme. Like I said, when I first got him, he I don't know why I laughed at it. I still laugh at it today, but he was chewing on me, man, the day I got this boy. As his first go-to, let me just chew on this guy. I want to chew on him. He would just chew on me, chewing all on my legs, chewing on my arms, just chewing all on me. Just a nightmare, man. And in rally, how did I get him to stop wanting to do all that chew? Let him chew. I gave the dude bones. I gave the dude, see, that's the difference with me. I give him the real stuff. I don't give him these fake plastic nyla bones. I give him a real bone. I give him something real. I go dig it up from somewhere. I give him something to be able to have, and he gets through that. All my dogs chew. So I give them something to chew. Their food at this point today, every day they chew. They get to chew through and pick through an entire chicken at this moment. So they get to chew. So every little thing that my dogs are needing and desiring, I give it to them. And then once I give that to them, they just chill out. Because it's fascinating that they literally eat. Like Oreo eats the chicken that he's putting those baby chicks in there. He eats that every night. But yet he doesn't go and kill it and just eat it on his own. And even today, we're getting so much better that my dogs aren't taking the eggs anymore. I think the main thing is, I just kind of just said, I let that energy go. I let it go. And I said, you know what? If you eat that, because I know where all my egg spots are, and if I see it low, then you're just not eating today. That's my language that I straight up said to them. They stopped eating it. You know why? Because they'd rather eat the food that I'm about to give them that is way better. Way better. An egg may be pretty nice, but the whole fresh chicken is much, much better. And so that's the trade-offs that the dogs start to do. When you give it to them, they stop all this extraness, this extra madness. They just chill out, they calm down. And they're willing to want to listen to everything that you're saying not everything, but most everything that you're saying at that moment. When they're saying, hey, no, finished, they're like, oh, okay. We say, okay, let's go. Okay, let's go. Let's make something happen. Let's do it. And so we'd be able to get the dogs to be able to understand on-off. That's why for me, at the end of the day, I'm gonna say something that a lot of people may not agree with, but I believe that the best dogs, it's just working with the ones that I have, the best dogs on this planet are the ones that have the highest drives, the highest prey drive, the highest just crazy drive. Like what? Like when you get it, you're almost like, I don't know what I'm gonna do with this dog. This dog's about to be crazy. I don't know what's about to happen. I think that those are the best dogs possible, because when you give them the chance to be able to express that drive, that dog looks back at you like, buddy, you are the world's greatest being on this planet. You allow me to do this. You actually even want me to do this. You want me to get all this out. That dog just looks back at you and says, you got the wheel, Tech. What do you want? Where are we going? What are we about to make happen? And the cool thing is, most of these dogs are so far away from work that it doesn't take nothing but 10 to 15 minutes of just like full, intense, all out, go, go, go. That's how some of these dogs, a lot of these Malinois and Dutch Shepherds that these guys have and girls that are doing all these protection sports, they don't work those dogs 18 hours a day. They may work it, most people, you only got to do it 2 or 3 times a week, maybe 30, 45 minutes, and the dogs are biting, they're intense, they're just going all out. And those dogs look back and just say, woo, thank you, man. You gave me what I needed. Like, I appreciate that. These dogs that have these like insane drives are like just the best dogs because you give them that drive and then they're just so calm, so chill. And it doesn't make sense to someone that doesn't do this stuff is what I'd say. It only makes sense when you're actually in the middle of it, when you're actually like getting it done. You say you do it, but you don't actually do it, you're not gonna see anything. But if you actually do it and you make it happen, you're gonna see something that is just like absolutely incredible. And there's so many dogs that they love that chase. And you get it set up so that they can do it, they can make it happen. There's so much stuff today that it's so easy for us to be able to do it because there's so many things that we can set up to be able to make it happen. That's why depending on what kind of property you live on, some of these dogs, they go crazy for like getting stuff off the property. Depending on what's on the property, that might be most cases, that's gonna be a blessing to you to get all the squirrels out, get all the rabbits out, even the deer in some cases are no good. Get all the pigs out, get all the everything out, get it out. And they get it out and they're just like, okay, well, my job's done. I'm good to go now. Now what are we gonna do? Where are we gonna go? And then also depending on the size of your property and what you have, they got these cars, they got these, because the thing that I'm saving up for right now is one of these lure courses, man. I'm trying to get the commercial professional grade ones. So they cost a little bit more because I want to set up events out here to bring people, bring your dogs, man. Let's get them chasing. Let's get them running. Let's get them just to go. Let them be able to get it out. Let them be able to make it happen. And also at the same time, let them be able to because the main thing is, what a lot of dogs are struggling with is they overweight. That's why they breaking down and getting hurt and getting damaged and doing this. This is my Oreo. This dude is overweight. I never see this dude hurting. But yet this winter, I don't know why, but I got this dude, he got fat. Straight up. When I looked at him one day, I was like, my buddy got a belly on him. Then I was looking at myself, self-reflection, like, buddy, we kind of matching right now. And he fat right now, and he got a hurt leg. He got a hurt. Usually, if his leg hurt, he's done with it the next day, the next morning, he's good to go. But no, he's kind of being a little slow on it because he's got like an extra probably 10 pounds on him right now. He's like, he's round, he's fluffy right now. And these dogs got to get back in shape. To get the dog back in shape, and the dogs will do amazing stuff. Because my Dalmatian, she's in shape. She got a little big too, but since I run her way more, she's like, I got to feed her twice, almost 3 times what I feed my other dogs because how much energy, how much she's doing. But when I give them that, and I let them run, I let them do what they do, they start to get in the best shape in their life. They start to feel better. They start to feel good. They're no longer like hurting and sore and got this extra weight they have to get up and move around. These dogs, oh my goodness, they're so amazing. They're so nice. So nice. And there's so much stuff that we could do to be able to get these dogs to be able to get this chase out. Because again, most of the dogs don't do nothing with when they catch it. They just want to chase. It's just the run. It's just that gallop to just be able to just go all out and be able to do something. The moving back and forth to be able to catch up to what it is they're trying to chase to be able to get to. And then they're just like, you could just see them just have this release of just like, oh, okay, like that was nice. They don't just like want to keep doing more. It's impossible for them to. You get tired. You get tired. You can't just go 24/7, especially when the dogs get into, this is why I love me some very high drive dogs, because you could literally see the switch happen. The dog is just like there, and then you could see just like, it's just like the whole, everything makeup of the dog changes. It's just like, it's just like, it's insane. That's why we use that word activate. That's the true word, man. The dogs go from just hanging out to like, I need to get someone to come on walks and runs with me. I gotta get video of this Dalmatian. Do you see her walking, and then I can see squirrel ahead, and then I can say, okay, Ophi, let's get it. And she just goes from just like so relaxed to just this explosion goes on in her brain of like, let's go. And then she just digs deep. Once they can't stay in that for so long. I mean, her at this moment, she's a young dog. She's like, what, 15, 14 months, and she can go at a run like that for 2, 3, 4 minutes max that I've seen right now. I'm trying to get her to at least do a mile. Like the way we're running, we're gonna be running a mile at about 4 minutes. The way this, what hopefully I'll be able to get her to do is 3 miles at a 4-minute mile pace. But she's extreme, and she's done. She's like, boop, finished. Where's the lake? I gotta lay down. I need to relax. I need to sit. I need to chill. I don't even want to walk right now. She's done. She's finished. They can't stay in that. And what happens is they get this satisfaction, this release. And then release happens and the dogs just, I'm good. They're not like on more and more and more edge, because that's just what I see. You know, I don't know what everyone else is doing, but what I see and what I've heard, and other people and other trainers that I pay attention to. I don't pay attention to obedience trainers. I pay attention to trainers that are like, let's get our dogs get a hunt trail. Let's go sniff the search work. Let's go like real, I want to say, at the end of the day, it is real world stuff to get my dogs to do something for me that is actually like a value, not just a trick to put on for a TV show, but something to actually be able to use and utilize that, again, what if there's no food? I'm keeping dogs. You might have to get rid of your dog because you can't keep up with food for it, but I got food for my dogs. And I'm teaching my dogs how to be able to get and be able to get their own food as well. And the more that we do that, the more that the dog isn't just like on edge, because this is what I would see in reality. If my Dalmatian, the more I let her chase, the more I let her do it, the more she wants to do it, I would see that, but I don't. I see the complete 100 or 180 opposite of that. The more I let her chase, the less that she wants to do it, the less that she has a desire to do it, the more that I actually have to start coaching her now to want to engage and want to do it, that I have to like make it more exciting now to get her to really want to get into it and really want to make it happen. And that's just what I'm seeing in my experience. And I've read this, seen this, heard about this, studied this from many and many of other people's. And they also are able to get to that exact same scenario. That's why for me, I have differences of when we're working and when we're not. Differences of collar, differences of equipment, differences of language, differences of walking pace, differences of what we're doing, differences of location, differences of all these things. That's why, for one, like how my German Shepherd, he's not gonna mess with any chickens out here because I don't set the game up here. I set the game up over there. I set the game up when we're out in the woods. I set the game up not where I am in my stuff. And even when I'm in the woods, I set the game up. I'm saying this is what we're doing. And he's like, okay, I know what we're doing. And when we're not doing that, he has no desire to do it at all. Zero. It's mind-blowing to me to see how deer and everything is all in his face. This dude has an extreme drive to chase, and he just doesn't pursue it at all. Zero. How many of my videos you see me walking, have you seen that shepherd take off at anything, ever, even one single smidgen? You have never seen that dog take off on anything, never. And why? Because he's got the chance to be able to do that with me, and he's got the chance to be able to get it all out. He gets a chance to be able to, for him, to complete that whole cycle. Not only just chase, but chase to be able to get, be able to get to dissect, the dissect to be able to consume. And he's like, I like this. This is it. That's it for him. He'll do that for me over and over and over again. And then even with him, when I do my trails in the main field here, he can only do 2 if I do the whole thing. On that third one, you could already see he's done. He can't just keep going and going and going. He's just like, whoo, buddy, like, why are you still making me go right now? It's like how he literally looks at me. Even if he does get to eat it at the end, he's just like, yeah, that's too much, man. That's too much. Just back off a little bit. And I'm like, okay, they have limitations. But I just my experience that I've seen. And my experience isn't I'm the professional that's got it all figured out. My videos, again, if anyone don't understand, is my progress, my experience, things that I've seen, things that I'm doing, things that I'm changing, things that I'm working on, and what it is that I'm able to get from it. When people are saying to me, how do I get my dog to stop pulling on the leash? When my problem that I had is, how do I get my dog to pull on the leash? So when I figured out how to get them to pull, I figured out very easily how to get them not to pull. When I figured out how to get my dogs to chase, I figured out how to get them not to chase. When I figured out how to get them to jump fences, I get them to know how not to jump a fence. When I get them to figure out how to be able to just burst out of the house, I know how to get them to not want to burst out of the house. When I get them to do all of these things that everyone doesn't want, the number one thing that I've done that while I know that I don't understand this, but I know how to get a dog to resource guard. Any item at this moment. I know how to convince them to do that. I know how to convince a dog, especially their food. how to get that dog to not allow anyone around that food. Don't let another single person, another dog, another animal, nothing around it. You go teeth on to the point of like damage to make sure that that's your food. I know how to do that. And since I know how to do that, I know how to get the dogs to stop doing that. Everything that I've been working on, and since day one in the dog training school, I had, how do I get my dogs to do everything that everyone else wants their dogs not to do? Because I'm using my dogs for the purpose that the dog is, the need. I want the need out of the dog. I have needs that I have for these dogs. And the needs are straight up animalistic, man. I want to be able to allow my dogs to be able to have all of what they need. And by doing that, I've been able to find out solutions of everything that everyone doesn't want. Because at the end of the day, everything that I just stated there is what dogs pretty much represent. They like to pull, they like to run, they like to chase, they like to guard, they like to bite, they like to do this stuff. But we as humans, what don't we like? All of that. So we don't like anything that the dogs represent. And that's where we're butting heads with most of these dogs. Because we're coming in and saying, I don't like nothing about your dogness, so I want you to do this. Sit and be a statue and do nothing. You don't have a chance. Don't even look at the squirrel. Don't even look at that dog. Don't even look at that person. Don't even think about barking as well. Don't even look at any of this stuff. You sit here and do nothing. And that's why we need extreme control. And that's where the dog training comes in, to be able to get everything from the dog away, to get the dog to just be able to sit there, lay there, and do nothing. So, and my goal is to get my dogs out, active, and going crazy, going wild. And on my pursuit of getting my dogs to be able to go wild, I've realized how to be able to get my dogs to be extremely calm. And it doesn't take a lot. I'm not working dogs, 15 hours a day. I don't even have time for that. I don't work straight up, people. I don't work no obedience. I don't work no nothing. All I do is get my dogs out doing what the dog needs to get done. So I got a dog that needs to run and chase. I get the dog out running and chase. And I got a dog that needs to move and herd. I got a dog that's out moving and herding. I got a dog that needs to sit and guard and protect. I got a dog that's sitting, where even is that dog right now? I got a dog that's out sitting and guard and protecting. I got a dog that needs to just be lazy and sit and sleep in the house in the air conditioner all day. I got a dog that I'm just giving these dogs all what they need. And that's allowed me to be able to see how to be able to get what everybody actually wants, with no having to use manipulation of pressure, with no having to put any abuse on the dogs, with no having to correct and punish the dogs, with no having to reward and treat the dogs, with not doing none of that, but spending a little time each day and giving that dog what that dog it needs. I see a transformation like absolutely insane. Like it's insane. It's insane. And that's what's neat about certain dogs. Because like my Johnny here, he can't even see him. Can you come here? He has zero desire in him to chase when it's just him. Because he literally, I remember the day. I'll never forget the day. Because it was a slip up for me. I got lenient. We was out here walking around and he looked good because at that time he had his prong collar and he had the e-collar on. So I felt confident because I got an e-collar on, buddy. So we were in the backyard over there. I don't know what to call this. This is all the backyard. This is too much of a backyard. But a backyard over there, I was doing my normal work, and this dude, because he wasn't allowed to chase nothing, zero. I don't care what Oreo moved, chase. He was not allowed to move. He couldn't do nothing. Zero. So I slipped up because these dogs are watching us. When we're on that, you can't nevers. The dog's just waiting for that chance that you're like not paying attention. Because I was always watching dude, like I was always like, where you at? Trying to do my work, I think I was building a fence back there, and I'm like, where is he? Always watching him. Oh, there's Shadow. Always watching him. And that one time that I was really into something, gone so fast, through the woods, jumped the fence in my neighbor's field after a deer, that e-collar didn't work. Because if the setting I had it on was good enough if we were just like kind of chilling, but in that moment, you're trying to dial it up, you're trying to push buttons, you're kind of just like you're in reactive mode, man. The dog's gone. What are you gonna do? You're gonna tap that button, but the dog is in drive. When the dog is in just full drive, you put that thing, I don't care what you put on that collar, the dog will run through it, man. When the dog is gone, So if I was on leash, I would have been dragging. He was gone. He took off, and he ran, he jumped back. Thankfully, he stopped at the street. The dude had enough sense in him that he saw a street and he was like, I'm gonna stop at this moment. Ever since that day, this dog does what he does right here. He got that one chase out. That was like 3 years ago now. I brought this dog home here. 3 years ago, he had that one chase. And he's like, I'm good. And I've been good since. I didn't have to worry about no e-collar no more. There was like, I don't know why, but a huge change in him ever since that day. He just stopped all the craziness. But what started to get complicated is if Oriole was engaged, my Border Collie is engaged, then he also will get engaged, which he still does today, but he's much more like, it takes him a little bit to get into it. Now, if the chickens are running and flapping and going all out, yeah, he'll get into it. But he has no desire to like, I'm gonna go kill it, because that's what he did. He killed the chicken, and that's when I was like, e-collar the dude up, because buddy, you not doing that. And he went to chase it, because Oriole's chasing, moving, and it's all good. So Oriole he'll nip it here and there. He has no desire to kill the thing. So he nipped it, and then Johnny just came in just full grip. Bam, I got it. In his mouth. And I'm like, buddy, what's going on? And that was the e-collar moment. And then extreme lockdown. I'm watching him like every single time that he looks at chicken, up stem. Looking at it, thinking about going up stem. And he's just like, and he waited. And he finally had that chance that he knew I wasn't paying attention. He was gone. And ever since that day, he got that it's a run. It's about a quarter-mile run. And jumping the fence and stuff and going through the brush. He had cactus things all on him. Doing all that. That was a run. That was an adventure. And he been done since. He been good. He been good. I gonna have another dog out, and it's just him and me. This dog is the most easiest, chillest hangout dog that anybody could just wish they could have. And it all started by I didn't allow it. It happened by just stuff happens. And once it happened that he got out that chase, he's like, we're good. We're good. Today, he runs up the driveway. He do his little running. He good. He stays around. He doesn't take off. He's not like pushy with much of anything. He's just like, I'm here. He's a good dog. He just chill. He just hangs out. And that happened from doing the chase. And now today, now that I let them chase and let them clear the chicken coop out and do what they do, he has zero desire to kill a single one. Actually, he's the most softest compared to Oriole nibble on their foot and drag them around. He's the softest of them all. He has zero desire to want to harm. He has no intent to harm anything. He get a little hostile with some dogs out here that try to give him some pushback. That's his only downfall. He think he tough, but he not all that tough. And that's stuff that he pretty tough, but there's just other dogs. I'll put it like this. He don't need to be, but he likes to portray it to be. He likes to think that he's strong. He like, everybody watch out, but he doesn't need to do that. And that's the part with why him and my Border Collie are really good together, because my Border Collie is he's quiet. And when he needs to, that dog is impressive. And that dog's impressive. That's why they had a tiff when I first got them together. Because he's like, look at me, look at me. And Oriole's like, dude, I don't need to show off. I just know who I am. And that's when he tried to give him attitude, and Oriole came out, and Johnny was like, yeah, we're good. We're fine. And he just still has that today. Any new dog comes out, he's always got to look at him like, who are you? What you doing? What's going on with you? But then he just relaxes. He's like, okay, we just play, we just hang out. Everything's all right now. Everything's fine. And that's the only thing that I see in him that I'm just still working through to figure out more about dogs in reality. That's the only reason I still have this dog, because otherwise, I'm sorry, Johnny, but I'm about to say, but I got no needs for this dog. He's a pet. He's a pet dog. He's a pet dog. He got like no real drive behind him. He got no stamina behind him. He got no even willingness to want to even express a drive behind him. He's a pet dog. He looks like this, like literally 23 plus hours a day. He just laying down, sleeping, chilling, belly out, this way, that way, on the couch, on the bed, sleep. This is all he does. I'll be cooking, he looks like this. I'm going to the bathroom, dude look like this. I'm taking a shower, the dude is just looking like this. He's just sleeping, laying down, relaxing pretty much all day long. And when I do work him, I take him to the lake, he can't handle it. He a pet dog. He's a true representation of, if someone's like, I'm trying to select and find the dog, this is the dog that you want to be looking for, that you're not like having to be on edge with. But still me, you know, if you use the extra type of person on this planet that likes to do more, likes to experience more, I'm telling you, a very high drive dog is going to be like the dog that's going to put a smile on your face every day. It's going to put a smile on your face. Because when you put a smile on that dog's face by giving that dog what it needs, it's going to do so much for you that you're just like, I can never give up on this dog. I just can't. And what's going on with a lot of people is you have that high drive dog and you're not wanting and or willing and or even know how to put in the work behind it to be able to get that dog to be able to get in a good place. So that's where you're struggling right now. Because you're going by dog training stuff of the dog can never sniff, The dog can never pull into nothing. The dog can never chase anything. The dog can never jump. The dog can never bark. The dog can never bite. The dog can never chew. The dog can never nothing. The dog can sit in a crate all day. That's what the dog should do. And a dog got to come out, be on leash. It's got a potty right here like this. It can't sniff to go potty. It's got to only just want to do. Like all of these rules is what's caging the dogs in, and that's going to make them to turn into being absolutely insane. Absolutely insane. And that's where, for me, what I've just realized on my journey of working with these dogs, of trying to find ways to be able to get things better. Because I was struggling. As much as I'm knocking on someone's door saying, I'm here to help you with your dog, I'm in the back of my mind like, I'm still working on that with myself as well. So how am I here to help you if I'm still working on those same things with my own dogs? If I'm still having to keep correcting my dogs every day, every other day, every 5 minutes, I'm still having to keep giving my dog a treat to make it maintain a stay over and over all day. There's something about that that's just like, maybe we shouldn't be paying attention to that all that much. If that person's dog and their dogs are still nowhere near what it is that like you're looking for yours. For them, they're happy with what they have. Me, I'm happy with what I have. But at the end of the day, anywhere and everywhere I take my dogs, people always look at them and say, how did you get your dogs like that? And I'm like, oh, I'm a dog trainer. There's a card. Let's link up. Let's figure something out right now. They always say that about my dogs everywhere I go. Everywhere I go. I don't care where I go. I got a dog with me, and someone's just like, wow, you got nice dogs. And then that's when I say that word. I'm a dog trainer. And they really looking at my dogs too. They're studying like what's going on with them. They're studying what's on me. They're studying everything going down. And they're realizing and seeing this dude got nothing on him. These dogs are just with him. These dogs are just hanging out. That's something that for me, that I was wanting to find, and I started to find people that were doing that. And that's where I had a transformation of changing what I used to do to what it is that I do now. In reality, straight up, what I do now, it wasn't a easy shift to get into, because when anything change isn't easy in reality. But once I stopped all of everything having to be perfect for one, I realized things start to get more perfect. When I got away from correcting every little thing because they didn't do it fast enough, things start to get faster for me. When I stopped worrying so much about the dog walking exactly with me so perfectly, I allowed them to just have a little bit of space. I noticed that they like walk so much more closer to me now. Everything that I just started to like relax it all. And then now today, with really pushing the dog's drives, which is pushing it hard and pushing it strong, it's exciting. It's fun. Whereas before I used to look at that like it was work in reality. For me to say to you, set up a track so your dog can be able to sniff a search and search something out, at first it's work. It is, straight up. When I say to grab you a flirt pole and get your dog into a field, and get you an RC car, get your dog and get into a field and get it to chase, it's work. It's work at first. It's not comfortable to us. It's like, man, I don't want to have to do that. But once you start to see the dogs get better, that becomes addictive to you, to me. I'm addicted to go for these hard runs every day, to keep pushing this dog, to keep like getting better and better and better. I'm addicted to getting more animals to be able to get my dog to be able to move them around. And someone will say, a luxury, or what no, this isn't a luxury what I do. This was a huge sacrifice for me to live here and do what I do right now. A huge sacrifice. My rent payment here is way more than I'm comfortable feeling. My everything out here is way more work. I got more animals, more of this, more of this. It is putting such a huge load on me. But that load like gets to balance because I get to have fun with it. I get to enjoy it, and it's pleasing. But there's that work behind it, but then it's pleasing work. It's not fun putting up fences, but when you see the aftermath of what's going on and what you're able to do, it's like, okay, I could deal with that. It's that balance. You got some bad stuff to deal with, and then some good things are gonna come. And that's just what I keep seeing with everything that I work with, especially these simple dogs. I put in the work, whereas the sacrifice for me up front of having to do extra, the most, the more. Obedience work the same way. That stuff's hard, man, to just keep up with it and do it all day and keep practicing it all the time. But either one, they're work. But when I go towards one work method of allowing the dogs to be able to express their drives, I realize that I get a way, way nicer dog than worrying about more control with more obedience. I don't get nowhere near the same looking dog, the same dog at all. I get a crazy looking dog with more obedience. I get a well-mannered, well-nice, polite dog when I express the drives more. And that's something that I've come to realize on my journey of working with these dogs. And I'm going to continue to keep on pushing this more and more and more with more and more people to keep on seeing the same exact thing that happens of saying, I know it sucks what I'm about to say right now, but you really want to help with your dog, you got to put in some work. You got to put in some work. You got to get your dog working. You got to get your dog moving. You got to get your dog cruising. They got to get your dog doing something. Your dog's got to chase. It's got to chase. You got to set it up. You got to make it happen. Your dog has to hunt. Your dog got to search. You got to set it up. You got to make it happen. You got to do it. You got to figure it out. You got to do it. And there's all kinds of stuff online for us to get for training aids to be able to help us do what we got to do to make it a little bit easier. But you got to do it. You got to make it happen. And then one day, it's not going to be like a work. It's just going to be fun at that moment. Because when you see that everything balances and it starts to balance together, it starts to get cool together, then you're like, you're moving on to something absolutely amazing at that moment. You're not stressed and struggling anymore. And some of us, at the end of the day, I'm kind of hardcore on pushing exercise for human beings as well. Is sometimes it's work at first for us, but then when we get going at it, it turns into like enjoyment. As much as I'm talking about taking weight off of dogs, some of us as humans, we need to look at that our own selves the same way. Take some weight off our own selves. Change up what we eat as well. Everyone's so worried about what you're feeding your dog. Like, what are you eating? What are you taking care of to be able to eat? Like, what's going on with that? We need to look at a little bit more that's going on this planet. And you're going to see that things just start to get better and better and better. The better that you're exercising, working out, the better that you're eating, the better that you're going to start feeling, the better just overall everything is going to start to become. And it's just something that is just I don't know, it's very fascinating, but it's not easy at first. Change is hard. Change is really hard. It's really hard for me to look at this dog. Everything I used to do with him was Johnny down, Johnny down, Johnny down, Johnny down. Johnny, you better do it. I'm telling you, you better do it. Me having to put this my body pressure of like, I said do that, and forcing him to getting completely away from all of that, to just being able to just look at the dude and say, hey, Johnny, you was a good boy. And just be able to chill and hang out with the dude. No more tension, no more stress, no more issues, no more nothing. We just living. We just being. We just relaxing. And we do nothingness. We just hang out. Because in reality, most of y'all dogs are a dog like this, that just has that drive, and once it's able to get it out, it's like, it's gonna chill out. That excitement is no longer there anymore. You got it out. And the dog's like, oh, well, that was cool, but I thought it was gonna be more than that. How much you were trying to make me not do that, I thought I was gonna experience more. And then the dog's like, it's not all that great, whatever. Okay, let's just move on now. But when we're trying to tell the dog no all the time, that's what's like, we're playing those games where the dog's like, it must be great because you're not letting me do it. And then the dog does it, it's like, oh, okay, well, what's next? And then we just go and lay down and take a nap. And now we just do basic walks around the block every day. And then you get to that point, you're like, my dog's kind of boring. I want another dog. And then what do you think is going to happen with that second dog that you get? Whatever reason, it's going to be that very high drive. It's going to be the opposite of what you got. It's going to be extreme. That's what I got in my house right now. I've got a Dalmatian that is extreme, and I got Johnny, man, that is just sleep all day. I got complete opposites inside of that household right now. And I'm working between both of them. And I realize when I get that Dalmatian to her work, inside of the house, we are both looking the same. She sleep on the bed right now. I mean, she probably gonna sleep for the next day. We ran today. She still kind of looked at me like she wasn't too tired, but she ran today. And I give her what she needs, and she's satisfied. She's like, oh, okay. And it's not even so much of just the run itself. It's the chase that she gets to do. It's the action of being able to do that. And I bet day after day after day, she's learning. I don't chase and go off the trail. I stay on the trail, and I just go. She will go, and to the point that she's like, I think I lost what I was chasing. So I gotta like remind her again. And that's what I'm working on next, is how to get her to stay in that pull for at least 15 minutes. I want her to go all out 15 minutes. And she's able to do that chase. She does that chase every single day. She gets to chase every day. Every single day, my German Shepherd, he gets to chase and pursuit every single day. Every day. And they chill, they hang out. That's just what I've come to realize with working with my dogs. Thank you. My Oreo, Border Collie, man, he's a very interesting, powerful dog. He's a dog that, he's my puppy that I've raised, that every time anyone ever sees him, it's like, well, that's a nice looking dog. He crazy, but he's a nice looking dog in the sense that I've pushed him through all of his fears. Anything that he was scared of. It was like natural in me before I even knew anything about dog training stuff. Just years ago when I got, he's about to be 7 this year? He's about to be 7 this year. And just, I would see that he was nervous, and I would just stand there and hang out with him. Because this was no leash, no nothing. We were just there. And I was able to, I don't know how, but I was able to like coach him to like get closer to me. So he knew if he was nervous, to just come to me. Like, I'll bring that extra safety. I just did everything that boy was scared of. Everything. I would take him random places and just take him out of the truck and just sit him there and just look. And I see that he's nervous, and I'll just get him through that. Every little thing. This dude is not scared of nothing today. And that's what I see as makes it like a really, like a dog that all the dogs want to be around that, man. They want to be around that kind. That's a good way of saying it, rehabilitated so many dogs by just putting them next to him. They come here nervous, because that's how Jovi is right now, that big dog here. She's got a nerve. It's weird to see huge dogs like that nervous. She's got this nervousness to her. So when she goes to him. These dogs go to him, and he just looks at him like, we're good. Everything's fine, man. And then you see the dog chill out. It's interesting to see that dog right now, sitting there, standing. She's just shadowing him, walking with him, going everywhere. And you can see it just, the stress just relax out of her. She's just like, oh, it's good. I've done that so many times. I don't even know how many times at this moment. I can't even keep up with numbers, but how many dogs that I've just put around him and watched them get better. And that comes through us doing stuff. When you see that your dog is nervous, don't run away from it. Don't try to pet them away from it. Don't try to treat them away from it. Don't try to correct them away from it. And let them experience it. And then they'll be able to just get through all of those emotions that they got going on inside. And then pretty much, nothing is going to like get them unweary. They're just going to be able to get through the world just like, we're good, man. Everything's fine. There's nothing to be scared of. Everything is great. Everything, what's to be nervous about? And that's how he is. And he's gotten that way by me literally doing everything that I talk about today, just not really understanding it before. Because what a lot of people would say to me is, even one person, he did something one day, I forget, someone looked at him, he was like, oh, that dog's wild, he's crazy. And on that day, I decided, okay, I'm gonna start working on this dog. And that's when I realized my working on this dog was just being with him. Just putting him and exposing him to as many different scenarios and places as possible. Putting him in anything I could find, man, anything. Only thing that he's just weary of still is the houses. I don't bring him in buildings. He doesn't go in buildings. He's outside dog. And he'll go in, he'll walk around, he'll do what he do. He's not nervous of it anymore today, but when he was a puppy, I never pushed that. Because in reality, I never wanted him in the house to begin with. I kind of wanted him to look suspicious of the house. Because you stay out here. Don't even worry about what's going on in here. Because I didn't want him to get that like barking and whining at the door trying to get in type attitude. He stays outside. And he has this like calmness, this confidence to him that just the other dogs, it's a magnet. It's a magnet. And it's something that I wish that more people that had really nice dogs like that could start to help out other people that have dogs that are struggling right now. Because that's one thing that my Dalmatian, she's getting there. She's still young. When she's 3, she's going to be different. But my German Shepherd, he helps so many dogs along the trail. And he helps so many people see like a different light, a different view because their dog didn't react. My dog, he's just calm. He just looks at him. He's like, we good. And that dog just looks back at him all, of course they're going. They're like tails wagging, and then the dog sees mine and he's just like, hey, what's up? And that right there, the owner sees something different. Like there is hope. It's hope, man. We could get there. I seen my dog do it. And if we can get that for more and more people, the dogs will start to relax, start to calm down. That's what really we need, is I can communicate to a dog so much, but a dog can communicate to a dog like, so fast, man. How do I teach dogs how to not take off on my porch? I'd bring random dogs here all the time. And Johnny does that for me. He said, we're staying here. And sometimes he applies a little bit of pressure, but he applies a pressure that the dogs understand, not the pressure that I as a human could put on a dog thinking that the dog understands. He stands up, he'll look at the dog, and he'll give him that stiff look. And the dog's like, okay, we'll hang out. And we hang out. And I'm like, okay, let's go. And then we're good to go. Nothing hostile, nothing mean, nothing angry, nothing dangerous, nothing. Just simply, this is what we're doing. And our dogs can be able to help out dogs so well. But it needs, for one, to be the right dog. Not all dogs, some people are just doing TV show stuff right now on this YouTube, putting their dogs in sticky situations, and their dog's not even ready for it. The dog doesn't listen to a single word that person is saying, but yet they're sticking their dog into the thick of it. They're putting their dog in a scenario that the dog's not ready for it. And that's where we can make things get worse in reality. And there's some of this going on YouTube right now. Because I already know the future of dog training is going to be another dog working another dog. You want your dog to know how to chase, you get them out here, I'll get something set up and I'll get my dogs going, your dog's gonna be like, let me join in on that. And it'll join in. And then it finally gets that release of like, oh wow, that was actually pretty fun. That was cool. That was neat. Whereas if me trying to coach that dog to do that, man, it could take a lifetime. But the dog can get the dogs to be able to move and be able to make stuff happen. And that's a big thing that, why for me, I like to not really show my dogs off to too many people, but people that come here, look at mine. And if this is what you're looking for, this is what I'm gonna be able to give to you. Because for one, my dogs are gonna be able to communicate to you what it is that you're also looking for. A nice calm dog. A nice dog that's not all excessive and anxious and wild and crazy. A nice chill dog. And that's what I'm able to give other people by just keeping your dog a couple of days. The dog just, it's like, whoop, that was good living over there. Almost like kind of reminiscing and wishing, I want to go back and do that again. That's how life is out here for me. That's how I just don't have chaos out here. I did when I had goats, but I don't have chaos out here. Everything is just in order, in a nice, comfortable, easy, free way. There's boundaries. I got fences. I got things we can do. We can't just go wherever, do what we want. But it creates things to just be like calm when everything knows what it's got to do. When the cow knows I eat grass, I give it grass, it's like calm. When the chicken knows I scratch and I move cow poop, I look for bugs, I eat a little bit of food here and there, and it's getting to do that, life is good. When a dog has to chase and it gets to chase and it gets to do it, life is good. When a dog needs to guard and it has to guard, it's got a protective thing in it that it needs to, and it gets to do it, it's going to be good. You're going to see things just be good when you're giving what it needs to do, what it needs to do. And same with you as a human, man, and woman. You got something inside of you that you got to do. And I want you to do it and stop holding back and do it. Make it happen. You're going to watch your life just change for the best.